Hi, good morning. My name is Emma. I'm 24 years old and I live and travel full-time out of my 2015 Kia Sedona, and over 9,000 of you have found it within your purview to subscribe to this channel. I'm not gonna fault your judgment. I'm gonna try not to fault your judgment, but it feels crazy. And I thought that I would do a Q&A video to celebrate and to answer some questions that you guys have asked me over the time that I've had this channel. I have made a couple of Q&A videos before, so this will be mainly addressing the newer questions, although there will be a couple oldies but goodies for all of the people who are brand new to my channel who may have questions, who haven't watched much of my content at all. First question I've received is, what made you quit your job as a nurse to pursue van life? I've gotten a lot of assumptions in the comment section that I quit because of COVID. Honestly, I started during COVID. I started working at the hospital as a tech during COVID, and then I was in nursing school during COVID, and then I graduated in 2021 and started working as a nurse in 2021. So COVID isn't what made me quit. I started during COVID. COVID is what I'm used to. I don't know of a time before COVID. So I never meant to choose one over the other. I never meant to, quit nursing in pursuit of van life. That wasn't really the goal. I wanted to go on a long road trip. I wanted to go on a 6-month road trip living out of the minivan in 2023. And job security in the nursing field, if you don't know, is really good. Nurses are always needed. So instead of asking for 6 months off, which was never gonna happen, I decided to just quit my job and then grab another nursing job after I was done with my road trip. And yeah, this happened. A follow-up question that I get a lot in that regard is, are you ever going to return to nursing? Are you ever going to go back? Is that ever something that you can see yourself doing again? And I think that I might end up returning to nursing at some point. I think that it is within my purview eventually, but I really don't know what my life is going to look like in the next week, let alone the next however many years. I really don't know. I think that I will. I think that I will eventually, but I couldn't give you a time frame for the world, and I couldn't even give you a field of practice. Like, I don't even know what I would want to do within that field. I worked critical care before, but I don't even know. I could do outpatient. There's so many things within the nursing field that you can do that it's just like, I don't know. So to answer the question, yes, but I don't have any details. A follow-up question that I get a lot in regards to the whole nursing van life thing is, why aren't you just a travel nurse? Travel nurses make a hell of a lot of money. You should just do that. And okay, I'm gonna get into this. All right, I have an associate's degree. I have an associate's degree in the state of New York. I can't practice as a travel nurse. Most travel agencies require a bachelor's degree. So at some point I need to finish up my degree before I can even think about travel nursing. Also, my experience. I only have 2 years of experience as a nurse. And I have also taken a large gap in my employment at this time. So a travel agency would not look upon that favorably. Many places require 3 to 5 years of experience before even beginning travel nursing. Additionally, I am licensed in the state of New York. I am licensed at my home state. I am not licensed to practice outside of my home state. There is additional certification that is needed in order to be a practicing RN anywhere in the country, and that is not something that I qualify for at this time. I don't want to. I don't want to be a travel nurse. I don't want to do it. If I'm gonna work as a nurse, I need to be in the same place, doing the same job, with the same types of patients, with the same coworkers. I need some stability in that job, because the job itself is just crazy, and I'm not somebody that can just do 13-week contracts all over the country and learn a new hospital and a new charting system and new state policies and new hospital policies every 13 weeks. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I can't do it. It's not something that I want to do right now, and it's not something that I even can do. And yeah, I get it, they make a lot of money, but also I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it right now. Maybe someday I can take a long contract with a hospital in Wisconsin or something, and then, I don't know, take a break in between contracts and do van life travel in between contracts, and then come back and do a 17-week contract in, I don't know, Wyoming or something. And that might work, like traveling in between contracts might work, but it's not something that I can do or that I want to do right now. So that's why I'm not a travel nurse. Moving on from the nursing stuff, I will address this for my new viewers who have questions about it. But Emma, why are you bald? Why are you always shaving your head? What is the deal? And the answer is, I can't do it. The majority of my viewership is male, and I'm not trying to be mean about this at all, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if many of my male viewers know just how much maintenance having hair is, especially when you have curly hair, which my hair is naturally curly. I get it from my mama. And I've had it short since I was 12. It's never something that I've liked to have, and it's a sensory thing. It's just, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I can't do it. Today's a special day, so we're gonna treat ourselves with 2 coffees. Ow! Oh my god. Why does it do that? Physics majors in the comments, please. I know it's a temperature thing. I know that having a hot surface suddenly meet a very cold surface makes stuff happen, but like, somebody chemically tell me why. Somebody just tell me why. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna move you over here because the lighting is a little bit better. You can see my neighbors. Howdy neighbors, what's going on, dudes? The next question is, are you gonna get into backpacking? When are you gonna do backpacking? And the answer is yes, I would love to get into backpacking, but at this point I am still paywalled by just how expensive backpacking stuff is. Even the used stuff is still pretty pricey a lot of the time. So eventually I would love to collect all the necessary items. I have big goals. I would love to do the Timberline Trail around Mount Hood. I would love to do the Wonderland Trail in Mount Rainier. I would love to do the Tahoe Rim Trail in California. There's so much backpacking stuff that I want to do so bad. A lot of the hikes that I do right now are backpacking routes that I just turn into day hikes because I can't afford the backpacking stuff. So eventually, yes, I would love to. Subscribe if you want to see backpacking stuff. Next question I've gotten is, do I have any plans to travel the East Coast? And the answer is no. I have zero interest in the East Coast except for my home state of New York. I am going to visit my family for the holidays this coming November, and I might get up into the Adirondack region. I haven't really explored the Adirondack region as an adult. I've done a lot of camping there as a kid, but I've never done like any hiking in the Adirondack region. So depending on how it looks this November, if there isn't a whole lot of snowfall this year, then I might do some of the peaks there. I am interested in doing Mount Marcy, so we might see. We might, I don't know. My dad has expressed a lot of interest in doing Mount Marcy with me. I don't know. Again, I don't know what this winter is going to look like. If it's too snowy and if it's too icy by the time I get there, then I might not do it. But yeah, no, I have no East Coast plans outside of visiting my family in New York and spending time in New York. Next question, when are you and Busbus going abroad? Anywhere like Mexico or Canada? I don't have a passport. I feel like everybody I know has a passport. Every time I tell somebody I don't have a passport, they look at me like, what do you mean you don't have a passport? Girl, I don't have a passport. I'm an American. I don't travel. My country is so big, I don't even need to leave it to see cool stuff. I want to see Banff in Canada so bad. I want to see some of the Canadian national parks so bad. I want to go to Canada. So when I go home for the holidays this winter, I'm getting a passport and I would love to do some stuff in Canada. So stay tuned. Going to Canada would also give me a really fun excuse to brush up on my French. Ooh. Comment dit-on, a world traveler? Juste un petit peu de café ce soir. Actually, not ce soir, that's this night. What's this morning? Comment dit-on this morning? Anyway, I used to be almost fluent too, and now I can't say anything. Où est la piscine? Où est la bibliothèque? Next question, Alyssa Vanilla actually asked this question, so hi girl. She asked, what is the most significant change that I have seen within myself since starting this little van life journey here? And I think that the most accurate answer to that is that I've become a lot more comfortable with not having a plan, and I've become a lot more comfortable with the feeling of aimlessness and trying to find peace within not really knowing what's going on or what I'm doing or what my life is going to look like or why. So yeah, I think that just coming to peace with not knowing what the hell I'm doing most of the time. And I think that that's a good thing. I used to be really, really anxious about that, especially earlier this year. And yeah, no, it's just been a really interesting thing to learn how to be comfortable with things that used to make me uncomfortable. I used to always be somebody that had a very distinct plan, and if I didn't have a plan, I would just make one and stick to it without really considering what I wanted. And I didn't want to ever come to terms with the fact that sometimes I didn't know what I want. I would always just choose something and do that no matter what, because it was more comfortable to have a plan that I didn't end up enjoying than it was for me to sit with discomfort of not knowing and then let myself eventually learn what I want to do. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? I think that that's the most accurate answer to this question. Thank you for asking that. That's a good question. Next question, what are some of my go-to meals living in the car? I eat very cheaply. I live out of the car. I live very cheaply, and it's because my diet mainly consists of rice, beans, and canned chili, and peanut butter, and bread, and endless combinations of the such. I do have a robust collection of seasonings for my rice and my beans. I recently added Cholula and corn tortillas to the mix, which has been very nice. I also do splurge on avocados. I do eat a lot of avocado. I also have apples and bananas too. So yeah, it's mainly peanut butter and honey sandwiches for when I'm hiking, some granola bars as hiking snacks, rice and beans. I can't put this finger up. I can't do that. Rice and beans. I used to do kielbasa and spinach and onion all the time, but like the spinach would always go bad like immediately. I operate out of like an ice cooler, so the spinach is always getting wet and I can't eat it fast enough. And I don't want to buy salad dressing. Maybe I could just make a little dressing with olive oil and some seasonings, but yeah, no, my go-to meals are gross. So the next question that I got is, how do I pick where I'm going to go, what time of year, and what's the process for determining where I'm going to go? I have all the time in the world to visit these places, but the person who was asking this question indicated that they were trying to plan a trip for themselves and they were having a really difficult time figuring out what the hell they wanted to do, where they wanted to go. And if you're living in the US, that decision really is hard because there's so many geological features to go see here. There's so many different regions. You can see so much here. This country is so big, and it can be really hard to decide where you want to go and what you want to do there. It really depends on your style of travel, but the way that I would narrow it down at large, that's not how you use that phrase. Anyway, the way that I would narrow it down is by geological features and seasons. Pick a geological feature that you would like to see, at least you think something that you want to see first, if you want to see the desert, if you want to see mountains, if you want to see the ocean. And based on these three options, that is going to really, really, really narrow down what time of year you can even see those features. Mountains, anywhere really mountainous, the Rockies, the Cascades, you're going to have a lot of snowmelt issues, and you're going to have a lot of like difficulty maybe even accessing the roads themselves into July in some places. So if you want to see really mountainous regions like the Rockies or the Cascades, the best times to go see those things may be in late July, August, and September. July, you're going to be dealing with a lot of bugs and a lot of crowds. August, you're still going to have a lot of crowds, but less bugs. And September is, in my opinion, the best time to be in the mountains. So take that information and do what you will. September is a little bit chilly, though. I'm all dressed up and I am in the mountains in September, so keep that in mind. The ocean, same kind of deal. When you're at sea level, you're gonna have a lot less problems with snow melt, obviously. So like June, July, August, September, even October. If you want to see the Pacific Ocean, you can also do some Cascade Mountain stuff along with that, because the Cascade Mountain range is right on top of the Pacific Ocean. So if you want to do some mountain stuff and some ocean stuff together, it might be better to do so later in the summer, when the mountains are going to be the most accessible to you. The desert's really cool in all of the other times of the year. So like November to April, the desert is so sick. That's the best time of the year to go visit New Mexico, to go to White Sands. That's the best time of year to go to the Red Rocks region in Arizona, to do some hiking in Tucson, to go to Moab in Utah, to go, oh my God, there's like 5 different national parks in Utah. Yeah, that's my general advice. That's how I pick where I want to go, is what geological feature do I want to see, and what time of year is it? And that really helps to narrow down things for me. So I hope that that's helpful if any of you are planning a trip for yourselves. So yeah. The next question I get a lot is, okay, you were not asked. However, the next question that I get a lot is, how do you make your music? Can you show us how you make your music? The way I make my music is on the GarageBand app on my phone, and I also use my phone to record, so I can't like show you exactly how I make it, but maybe I'll do some like screen recordings and put that here so that you can see. Alright, so this is the GarageBand app. I have made a little simple, easy piano loop, and I have some audio recorder like openings. You can see me toggling between them now. That is an opportunity for me to record my voice, and I'm gonna decide that I want to come in at like a measure 4 or something. Hold on, let me figure it out. There we go. And I'm gonna open one of these audio things, and I'm gonna hit record, which is a little red button, and I'm gonna sing. Normally it would take me anywhere from like 3 to 100 tries to get it the way that I want it to sound, but for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna do 1 or 2 takes. Also, I don't have a microphone for this. I'm just using my phone mic. So I'm just listening back to it. I'm gonna sing another part over it now, which is what I'm currently recording, and you'll hear the second part come in. I didn't like that at all, even for demonstration purposes, so we are re-recording. I don't really have a whole lot of effects that I can add to the voice, so I generally just add reverb. I don't really have any way of pitch correcting, otherwise I probably would. Alright, so there's my second part. I'm gonna record a third part right now. There are some timing issues with the voice parts, which I would fix, but this is just demonstration. And that's a good example of how a lot of my songs start out. Outside of that, I just kind of add stuff and I add more harmonies as I go. Here's an example of a finished one that's obviously a lot more expansive. Let's check it out. Call me a loser, call me sad, and send me like wildfire, burning like it tied round my neck. So that's pretty much it. I just use the GarageBand app on my phone, and I hope that that satiates your curiosity. The next question in regards to music is, were you trained or are you self-taught? I have been trained. My training has come through, you know, just like school, like the school choir, school band, this, that, the other thing. But at one point, I was taking private percussion lessons for a couple years, and I was also taking private piano lessons for a long time. And considering how much private lessons I've had, I'm pretty bad. There was a very long time that I didn't do any music at all whatsoever, and I'm kind of just picking up the pieces and playing based on just what I remember. But yeah, no, I have had a good amount of training. I'm very lucky to have had music training growing up. That's not something that a lot of kids had access to. But yeah, I have had some music training. Next question is, what the hell are you doing with your music? Are you gonna put it on Spotify? Are you gonna make it available for purchase? Are you gonna, actually make it public and not just on YouTube? And I think that the answer is yes. I think that I am eventually gonna put it up on streaming platforms. I have had a lot of encouragement from our dear friend Mateo on the channel Winter is Blue on that end, and he has been very kind to me and has encouraged me to spend the money to get it copyright protected and put it up on Spotify. So I think that is something that I might do maybe this winter. I don't have any concepts really for an album. I may just like put all the stuff that I have made as an EP and put it on there. I don't know, but I do have plans to eventually make it available on streaming platforms, thanks to the support and kindness from you guys and from Mateo. So yeah, I think I'll eventually do that. The next question is, where does Busbus get its namesake from? Why is the minivan named Busbus? And this is actually a really cute story. Reportedly, when I was little and I was learning how to talk, I would call every vehicle that I ever saw a bus. There were no cars, there were no trucks. It was just bus. So, yeah, everything became Busbus, and this is the largest vehicle that I've ever owned. This is the most bus adjacent vehicle I've ever had, so it's Busbus, and I live in my Busbus. It's Emma and Busbus, so yeah. Sorry, I had to move my car again to get more sunlight. The next question is, what's the romantic situation? Are you dating anybody? Would you ever consider dating a subscriber? What do you look for in a romantic partner? This, that, the other thing. And the answer to that question is, I might have a special somebody. I might have a special somebody who happens to be a subscriber. Boyfriend reveal? Y'all aren't ready for a boyfriend reveal. Next question is, family collab in November? For those of you who don't know, my brother asked this question because my brother is a videographer and a photographer in upstate New York, and he primarily does a lot of work on cars. He does a lot of car photography and a lot of car videography. So if you're based out of upstate New York and you got a cool car and you want somebody to take professional pictures and videos of it for you, go hit him up. Here's his Instagram and his YouTube. He sometimes makes YouTube videos, and he also has a really cool camera, so you might see a collab video with my little brother. Next question is from somebody who noticed that I have a bunch of triathlon shirts that I wear regularly, or like relay racing shirts. And their question was, did you do sports growing up? What's the deal with the triathlon shirts? And the answer to that question is no. Those are my mother's shirts. My mother is a certified badass, and I am a thief. I don't think I got to all of the questions, but I did get through to like the most asked questions. I did kind of like mush questions that were repeated together to like kind of overall try to answer as much as I could. And if you have any more, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I actually have a question for you guys. How do you feel about a Patreon? I've been thinking about making one, but I don't know what I would put on there. Would you subscribe to a Patreon? Would you want it to be $1, $5? What would you think about doing a Patreon? What kind of content would you like to see on a Patreon account? Would you want like music experiments, yapping sessions? What kind of stuff would you be interested in a Patreon account? And if so, what would you like to see on there? Because I'm thinking about expanding my internet reach, and I'm just not sure if that's something that would be in demand. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for subscribing. For answers to other popular questions such as why don't you have a dog with you? Do you get lonely a lot? Have you ever had anything scary happen? What's the dream rig? Do you want to stay in a minivan forever? How long do you want to do van life? If you have any questions like that, then I would highly recommend that you check out these 2 videos to see if your question was answered in any of those. I probably should have just waited to do a Q&A video until I hit like 10 or 20,000 subscribers, but you live and you learn, and now all these questions are scattered all throughout my channel, so I do apologize for having made it harder for you. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you asking questions, and it's a really fun opportunity for me to interact with you guys in a way that I don't normally do so in my videos. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.